welcome in. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Flow and Charts. If you're new to joining us, feel free to drop flow requests, charting requests, any questions about the market, unusual whales, so on. We I initially wasn't going to do a live stream today. The whale watch one kind of ran a little long, so I was just kind of like, but we're kind of getting some news now into close here. So just kind of gonna hang out. The flow's been very kind of quiet this afternoon. Again, after whale watch, I initially wasn't gonna do the live stream today because I think don't quote it 100%, but I think me and Keith are gonna be doing a joint live stream tonight in Discord only, so that should be fun. We're going to be doing that in this trading room here, so you guys will, for those that haven't been in Keith's lives, you'll get his deep breakdown and stuff there. Yeah, Pipsy, I think that QQQ put was a short here. I think Snorlax may have tweeted that out here. Let's go back to yesterday and look. So this is that whale. I believe I think they were. Yeah, it looks like possible short coverings there today. Hard to fully know, but yeah, I'm so happy we talked about this yesterday in the live stream there. Um, I know Lilu was looking at getting those, and I think I talked Lilu out of it a little bit, and I'm kind of happy I did that. Obviously, there was a lot of headline risk going into yesterday after hours, and we ended up getting the ceasefire there. But yeah, great kind of example there of not always not having to just grab something, and I was just being kind of patient there. But yeah, it looks like that's getting kind of covered now there though. So I think they may have been short puts there. What have you guys been seeing for flow today here? Anything interesting on your end? I know Bean, I thought you said you saw some interesting stuff today, Bean. Marvel flow. Was it from today or yesterday? I'm kicking myself too from the live stream yesterday when talking about a couple of my trades there. Those NVDA call I sold those for 20% yesterday at close. You guys remember me doing that, and then yeah, absolutely, yeah. I mean, they over 100% this morning, but hey, you know what? It could have been 100% the opposite way too, and NVIDIA could have tanked off negative news. You just never know. So I mean, hindsight's gonna kind of be 2020, but yeah. And the one that pisses me off the most, I'll show you guys here. Let me go to yesterday's Ask Side flow feed. It was those Intel calls from the risky flow there because they were weeklies, and we did touch on this a little bit in the live stream yesterday, but let's go find it. Intel, here you go. I got in these at 88 there at that discount, and yeah, I sold those yesterday. Um, yeah, so I'm a little. I would have had a fantastic day today if I would have held these there. I was in a good handful of those at 88, and yeah, ended up selling these for a loss, and then the Nvidia calls too. But hey, it could have been 100% the other way. Yeah, what's up, Cash? Yeah, always fun to get Cash in here too. Yeah, man. Ooh, okay. I can't look at that flow anymore there. Um, yeah, let's just kind of take a peek at actually, I don't want to ignore Beans. I'm out Marvel flow today. Oh yeah, I know you said you found some. Yeah, it was yeah, we went till about 11 o'clock for whale watch. It was a pretty long, 2.5 hours almost there though. Dude, those filters are really good. I mean, they're really nice, and you don't get too overwhelmed on the flow, and you get a nice handful of contracts there. Um, the what was it? Oh yeah, cash. Kind of expanding on your good day today. I was um I was kind of talking about that. I sold those NVDA calls that were from the flow alerts section yesterday for 20% at close yesterday, and yeah. But hey, you know what? There was too much headline risk going into the afternoon there. But hey, you know what? Green is green yesterday, right? Would have been a way better green day today. But hey, you know what? Yeah, it's you see profits and 20%'s not nothing to laugh at. Obviously, looking at the full results there, it's not always gonna work out in your favor there. But yeah, let's look at our market tide and kind of look at Periscope and see what's going on. Kind of a big change in things here. We have had some news kind of come out in the last hour or so, kind of Iran not being a bilateral agreement, all that, and now there's some reports. I shared a couple in that main chat. Looks like some ships are getting turned away from the Strait of Hormuz. So I mean, it's just an ever evolving thing. You think we get a ceasefire, and then it's just ever evolving. Again, kind of like Cash was saying too. It's so scary to hold anything overnight right now, just because there's so many moving parts. And yeah, exactly, an ever evolving mess. It's not when you see so I mean, like, I'm annoyed because I didn't get the full profit on those Nvidia calls, but it could have been hindsight and we could have been down 5% today, and I could have been like, yeah, I should have took 20% on the Nvidia calls there. But yeah, no, and that's what I agree on that too, being where it's a trader's market for sure. The volatility really creates opportunity. I love volatile markets. It can be rough, but it's nice to get that volatility because it creates opportunity there. Yeah, no, it's fun and yeah, I was looking at, I saw you post something about oil there, cash to those shell calls. I was really looking at these too. I really wanted to take them, but I had some of that flow coming right a little bit after there. But I think energy is gonna get a pop back here, especially if Strait of Hormuz actually doesn't open up fully and so on there. But yeah, market tide right now. Starting to turn kind of bearish here. You got your call premiums kind of tailing off here, put premiums tailing up, getting a lot of negative volume, put volume coming in there. That's typically a good sign of bearishness there. So I'm just kind of watching how price reacts here right now. I mean, see if we can get a little more call premium dropping there, puts picking up a little bit there. But yeah, I mean, this is a pretty bearish read right now here. And Periscope wise too, I'm just looking where we are right now. We're in this negative gamma zone here. We don't really have any gamma below us. We do have that gamma above us, but it's kind of falling off. It's kind of a hands-off environment right now for me on this one. I'm not seeing any good clean setups. Let's look at tomorrow's expiration, see if we can see anything. Ooh, they are kind of trying to test this 67.40 spread there. So I mean, yeah, you can just see we're sitting between this big range here. I mean, that 67.40 and 68.20 is your range for tomorrow's expirations here. But yeah, for scalping zero DTEs right now, you're just kind of in no man's land right now, just sitting in negative gamma there, and we got a little positive gamma above us, but again, it's been decreasing that last half hour. It looks like on all those levels. So again, that's typically a bearish sign there, but no gamma to really kind of take us down to there. I mean, you have that 66.95, but odds of us dropping that far there into close, probably not very likely. So I'm hands off Periscope right now. Um, yeah, flows. We got some SQQQ calls coming in here. Those are already kind of running a little bit there. Let's see. Let's see. Let's take a peek at these. So, I mean, IV spikes when they come in, these look pretty good here. Spots filling with the ask, very clean there. I mean, not much to really say. It's down, obviously. This is your inverse there, your ultra pro short ETF there. So, would be looking for Qs to essentially drop a little bit there. And those are already kind of up a little bit there too. Yeah, this thing has been. It's kind of near the high of the day, so ooh, I almost might have a little double top here. What are these 23 days out? Yeah, interesting. I'll keep eyes on this one. Keep eyes on that one. Actually, I'm going to throw this in that risky flow. It looks good, but those short ETFs can always. And a lot of that flow's been kind of going in that risky flow, unless it's just super textbook perfect looking flow, and there hasn't been much this week. I mean, just the couple and just too much headline risk. And I know there's people out there that obviously you don't want 100 trades, but you're not gonna always get that there. Um, SMH puts kind of coming in. I saw these. These could be a possible exit 10,000 there. Another 10,300 there. Would want to double check open interest on that tomorrow, but yeah, other than that, I mean, just kind of not a lot of good flow again today. NBIS puts, we can take a peek at these, the 5-8. Hey, Rich Dog's here. I gotta show you something, Rich Dog, since you just got in here. You remember those Intel calls from yesterday, from the Risky Flow channel? I know you do. I know you do. I'm kicking myself. I'm kicking myself on these. Absolutely kicking myself. I took a couple of these at a discount yesterday at 88. I ended up cutting them yesterday for a loss. Dude, I that would have been a outstanding day there on those. Yeah, it's one thing because you pointed that out too. You see those at close expiration, pretty much at the money. Those were very, very close to the money, so that's yeah, absolutely. And I went light on the position. I only did about 10 contracts on there. I cut them for just a small loss, and yeah, that's all I gotta say. And then those NVDA calls too from the Flow Alerts channel there too. I sold them for 20% at close yesterday, and they hit at least over 100% today. But I was telling them like the hindsight's going to be 2020 no matter what. Like anything could have happened after hours yesterday. Too much headline risk. I mean, it sucks seeing that, but hey, you know what? It happens. It happens. The intel's bothered me a lot though. Yeah, hey. Yeah, you had an outstanding day too. I saw that in Market Wealth. Nice outstanding day. I like when we get those guys. Ooh, look at all the IWM puts coming in here. Oh boy. Let's take a peek at these. So again, so 5% out of the money. Let's just look at these here. Yeah, that helped too. That helped too. I saw you post that in the chat too. Yeah, that helps. I mean, hey, if you have friends that have, in the military, that it helps. It helps. These I'm a little questionable on. Let's come back down here. So when this flow starts to come in here, so it's at 1412. So you get an IV drop. Now that spot is filling with the ask. Let's just kind of follow this up. 788. So repeated hits ascending fill. So let's see where that fill goes up. Hits ascending fill. So we are getting that ascending fill here. IV increases on that big size and big premium there. IV's increasing. Spot prices. Oh man. these are interesting, and then you're still filling up the ask, and that IV kind of drops, pops again there. Ooh, these look kind of tasty here, and that spot price is increasing that entire way. These look tasty here. These look tasty. I am gonna throw these in the risky flow though. I'm just not big on ETFs right now. Just obviously too many big swings overnight. A lot of the flow again is gonna be in that risky flow channel unless it's very, very, yeah. I I really like that setup on those. It looks very good. 37 days out, it just kind of, concerns me that it's more of a longer term kind of whale there, maybe expecting something with the ceasefire to fall through at the end of the 2 weeks. I'm not big on holding anything ETF wise for like more than a day or two right now. Just there's again way too much headline risk. I'll continue to hammer on that, and I don't want to get caught in something like that. But yeah, that's I agree with you being there. I do see more downside potential than upside potential. We obviously got the ceasefire, but then again, you're getting information about it's not a bilateral deal, all this and all the straits, getting some ships sent back. Not doesn't sound very friendly to me. All right, let's see what else we got. And yeah, if you guys got anything you want me to take a peek at, feel free to drop it in here because this flow has been kind of dry. How about these MU puts? 424, 390. Marvel. Yeah, hey, what contract did you grab there? Actually, I can probably find it in here. I'm gonna see if I can beat you in here. Marvel. It's on my filter. So I'm gonna assume you did the call here on that. So probably this guy right here. That 417 and 118 call 197 up to 290. Oof. Yeah, that was a pop. Let's just look at those. I wonder. And that's the one thing I love doing whale watch, but sometimes I miss that flow, just sitting and talking, because it's not just strictly flow on that show. It's just kind of look, yeah, these would have looked good here. Spot filling at the ask, IV spikes, yeah, these look pretty good there. I'm happy you found those and took those. Great move there. Great move on those. Let's see, we got American Airlines. Yeah, let's go see. Got anything on that? So American Airlines today, and we did have Delta earnings in the pre-market, so that's kind of pushing everything up there. Delta had pretty good earnings there. Yeah, big spike in that call for. Oh, geez. Yeah, I know you were in those AAL calls, those long dated ones there too. I mean, really big pop on that today, especially if you're held. But even since I think it was last week you had the AAL calls. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean you've been seeing good move up there. I know you said something about profits. I think it was last Wednesday on April 1st there. But we'll see what we can find today here. So some short dated puts, a little too much action on that to know what's what. Oh, we looked at the puts, duh. How about these long dated calls of 115.27? Yeah, just not the best looking, and we do have a lot of open interest on these too. Anything new? Let's see. Yeah, that's yeah, securing some profits. You're securing a nice handful of profits there. um, yeah, I'm just looking at AAL. I'm not really seeing anything new in the highest volume contracts. Let's just go look in here. Let's get rid of some of our junk. Alright, let's see now. So yeah, the long dated call there. Another long dated call here. Ooh, yeah, just a lot of open interest on a lot of this stuff. Let's just see. Yeah, we don't know what this is for that or anything. Let's see. So this 9-day output could be a little interesting. Just a lot of just not the best fills today. Yeah, hard to know what's passing and contracts are being passed off, so on. All right, let's see. See if I can find you one decent one though. I'm just looking at that volume on the day, and a lot of them already. That volume is very significant or very insignificant to that open interest. I don't want to turn the volume over open interest on because it's going to really limit everything in here. Let's see if I do this then. So yeah, that 12 call, yeah, just a lot of kind of useless volume today. Nothing really interesting. And I don't want to get down here too far because that premium's pretty low. 9-day output. This might possibly be the best one, but again, you don't have a clean entry to really go off of. Yeah, I'm not seeing much for AAL there. Let's just do a quick glance at everything. I would say I would continue to probably be bullish on this one. You have a positive day today of gamma here. How about we looked at premiums kind of already a bit, and we just had the one big day, and that again gap would have been filled. Yeah, I'm not seeing much for AAL there. So let's see. Looking at GEX, what would you say that it gives the perspective? Yeah, let's go. We'll go look at. We can go look at some variety of the ETFs and stuff gamma wise here. Funny thing is too. I know I was talking about on Twitter there. I just kind of speaking on premiums and gaps and stuff. I was really hammering on seeing a lot of that call inflow there, a lot of put outflow, and again, look at your gaps. They're all filled from that high there. So I mean, that's very interesting. Now again, you're seeing a lot of call premium come off here on SPY. Could be something interesting. What I'll do after I look at the gamma for Rich Dog, I kind of want to go back and look at some of those net call premium gaps and gamma stuff that we were looking at there. So let's do this. I mean, your first positive day of gamma, I think, for the entire year, I believe. Nope, we had a little bit at the beginning of January, but first big spike in positive gamma here. Obviously, you're seeing the big run up here in the market. There's still a lot of negative gamma down here as well. Yeah, a lot of that net gamma is on. Come on. Sometimes it needs a little refresh. Yeah, it's all on the call side here. Your expiration, it's all on your kind of 4.8, 4.9, 4.10 expiration. Everything else is there. Still that net gamma on the put side there, especially on that 4.17 expiration. I'm not really seeing a lot of long dated. Let's just pop this. Why? Sometimes the gamma page glitches a bit for me. Let's do this. Nope. Okay, I guess we're just going to have to look at this. Does it let me drop them though? No. Oh, so it lets me drop them. 40. Yeah, okay, so it's not going to let me go over that 40 strike. But, yeah, it's very short dated net call gamma there. And that 417 expiration, a lot of put gamma on that one. Let's just kind of look through. So positive day to day here. I mean, it's been very bearish overall though. Let's do SPX as well. SPX is different. So that gamma is derived from open interest, so it changes every day, obviously. But yeah, big spike today, and I mean, just a lot of negative gamma recently. Looks like it's about the same setup there. A lot of net gamma on the calls. A lot of net gamma on your short expirations there. That 421 expiration there on SPX has a lot of put gamma, but still net on the call side there. Let's look at the Qs. Let's do QQQ. And I just want to look at the premiums too. I like combining the premiums with the gamma just to kind of see how that's going. So, I mean, a lot of put premium coming in here today on the Qs. That's very interesting. Very, very interesting. Call premium is up a little bit, but yeah, that's... I would be cautious with longs, just kind of looking at the data here. And then you had the SPY drop in the net call premiums today. Let's go look at gamma here. Yeah, most of this is going to probably look like a big spike today, but yeah, I mean, very heavy, deep gamma pockets there, and that's just market makers taking liquidity out of the market. So they're putting a little in today, obviously, but man, yeah, a lot of that net gamma is on the call. So you got some on those puts, though. Expiration, yep, your short-term expirations, they're getting a lot of call. That 618 and it looks like, what is this, 918 expiration has a lot of put gamma on it too. Very interesting. And we do have PCE tomorrow and then CPI on Friday as well too. So the last we looked, and well, we're on it, they are expecting a couple, I think PCE is expecting, I haven't really looked at the numbers yet, to be honest with you. Yeah, I mean, they're expecting flat readings there. I don't really foresee a flat reading, but CPI on Friday, that core year over year, so core strips out that energy and food, so your volatile items are out of that, and they are expecting an increase on that. And if you just look at top line CPI, which has the food and energy in it, they are expecting a very hot print on that. Very hot print on the yearly and the monthly there. So market is bracing for a hot report there. So back to the gamma here. Yeah, your Qs. Yeah, today's your big positive spike, but yeah, I mean there's a lot of liquidity that's coming out still. And let's do a look at IWM here too. So premiums. Yeah, and IWM's getting a lot of put premium in here as well too. Gamma. So that's actually a negative gamma reading today. Still pretty significant improvement, obviously, but yeah, that is still a negative gamma there, and I'm just kind of looking, ooh, yeah, that's it still favors the call side for net gamma there, but a little more on the put side there too, and expiration wise, you're very close expirations, but yeah, that 417 has a lot of negative net gamma, or put net gamma on it. Sorry, I always say negative, and yeah, I would say the IWMs are looking more bearish here. And then you had those premiums to kind of go along with it too. Yeah, that's very interesting. Yeah, glad you brought that up, Rich Dog, because that's something that's should be focused on too. I mean, that's interesting. I'd like to see what that gamma does tomorrow morning. That is something I would be very interested in. Crap, what we were gonna look at before the or no, after the gamma. I said we were gonna look at something. Now I totally blanked and forgot what it was. Let's see what we got for flow coming in here. Dang, it was something with what was it? One of you guys got to remember what I said we were going to look at when we were done with the gamma. Jeez, getting old, man. Adobe calls. How about these? 9 days, 64. Okay. Take a peek at these. Hank Picks. He's actually passed out on the floor right next to me. He is passed out in his bed on the floor right now. These Adobes here might not have the best read. A lot of bid side flow kind of coming in here, followed by an IV decrease here and spot filling at the ask there. But your IV does kind of go up there. These could be interesting here. Could be interesting. I just kind of don't like that bid side stuff before there. Alright, well, if I remember what we were going to talk about, it was something about the premiums on something. I don't know. If somebody reminds me, we can go back and look. But let's go the TEVA 31 call for 17. Let's take a peek at these. So these, yep, these look like a good opener here. Good find, Benny. 2,600 contracts at 65 cents there. Let's take a peek. So this is one of those kind of block trades that I always talk about. You do have some action before it, but I'm just kind of looking through that feed to see how that IV is kind of decreasing there, or it decreases, then it increases, and it's the bid. So it's a repeated hit ascending fill. And then on the big size and premium, you get that IV drop. Yeah, this one's a little too messy for me there. I yeah, no, the ascending fills are a really good one to keep an eye out for. But yeah, I just kind of don't like that bid side there. You're getting that ascending fill, and your IV's increasing. And then you get the big size and premium, and the IV drops there. Yeah, it's kind of a coin flip one. How far are these out of the money? 2% out of the money, 9 days. They're probably buy to open there. I wouldn't say I'd give a super clean read on it though. Just seeing how that big size and premium are impacted there with that IV. I would just kind of be a little cautious with that, and we are up 3.6% on the day too, so that could also kind of be skewing this stuff a little bit in here. I would probably lean buy to open. What else we got coming in on here? I clicked on the same thing 3 times. All right, let's see. So overall, let's just kind of look here. Yeah, you are getting more so kind of a lot of bid side call here, so that does kind of caution me a little bit on that flow. So it looks like very short dated flow here could be getting taken off here. So this whale coming in here, 82. Yeah, it looks like they're probably getting out here potentially, maybe for some small gains, break even-ish. What was that? 4.7 did that carry over? So yeah, it looks like these two could potentially be related to each other because this 1,000 contracts did carry over into today. Would have brought their average down significantly. And I'm seeing bid side action here today. I would make a good assumption that this open interest will probably see a drop tomorrow there. Let's just kind of look at bid side call there. Well, that 32 call. We got there 758. Let's take a peek at this one. Yeah, again, I'm kind of looking at that other flow around it too. I mean, you're just seeing that IV kind of decrease throughout the chain there, and it's multiple decreases there. These ones do overlap earnings too. So earnings in 21 days. Does one you sent me overlap earnings? No, yours does not. So that's not a big deal. Yeah, I'd almost want to say those could be possible short calls there. Just kind of one of those coin flip ones where can either go either way there. Just not the best read. It is your highest volume contract on the day though. I just don't get a good feeling about it with all that net call premium there too. All right, let's So yeah, the Tivas I would be kind of cautious on, just not the cleanest read. The Dow ones, I believe I posted these ones in that risky flow, and anything oil is gonna be risky right now. These are already making a run there. Dow 60, they're trading at 115 there, so up over 100% there. These were ones that I did touch on Whale Watch today as well. Believe I like these. So that spot filling just slightly under the ask there, you get your IV spike there. These do overlap earnings too, so that's another reason why I would have went in that risky flow. I just want to check on my things. I saw it come in here too. Let me just go find it. So the 37.5. So you sent me the 42. So the ones that I put in that risky flow were actually these 37.5. So excuse me for being wrong, but oof, what a move on those too. So 37 days on those, and again they overlapped earnings by a good amount there. Um, the ones you sent me, I would probably lean buy to open as well on those too. So kind of combining that with the Mailer sent me the 42 call. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, yeah, this isn't a bad one either though, because you get your IV spike there. That spot's pretty much filling at the ask there. Yeah, I would lean that these were buy to open there, and yeah, they're up over 100% there. I need to yeah, these ones I touched on Whale Watch. I couldn't remember which ones it was, but yeah, you get your IV spike spot filling at the ask there. Looks good. I need to send this to them here. All right, I had to do a little humble brag in there. Um, yeah, no, I'd say that was a good find there, though. Good find there. So okay, NVTS, the 9 put there. 9 put, 9 put. Oh, why am I going Periscope? What is wrong with me? So let's see. Definitely looks like an opening trade, 4,100 contracts here. Um, Against 329 open contracts here. Sorry, I'm just keeping an eye because I keep seeing my phone light up here, and it looks like a lot of news has just kind of come in here. Just looking through the news here. Just kind of looking through that news. Okay. Yeah, just ever-changing news every second. Yeah, let's take a peek at these. Yeah, this is an opening trade for sure. These, so we got 16 days on them. They don't overlap earnings. Yeah, I would say I like these as well too. Again, you're kind of staring out at the bid here, which turns into the ask, but IV spikes, spot is filling at the ask there. Looks good that whole way up. Yeah, I would read these as a buy here too. And again, everything is spiking today too. I mean, you're up 13%. These are 7% out of the money. I would make that kind of assumption that, it's up significantly. You should see a pullback. I mean, stocks will not continue to go up 100% every single day there. Well, this isn't up 100 or 100%, but they're not going to continuously go up. Stocks are going to take a breather. Stocks are going to rise. Dips are going to be bought. Rips are going to be sold. So, I mean, I just kind of try to think logically there, and I talked about that in my briefing as well today. I really hinted on don't take calls that open because there's going to be profit taking, and we had profit taking there. And again, I was still kind of talking about how it was still a bullish sentiment, though. You get your calls being sold here, and I had these marked out for Whale Watch, so just kind of ignore these. But I just you see how you get your profit takers, and then you're still in a bullish overall sentiment there, and you get your big pop back up there. So I mean, it's just kind of understanding market fundamentals as well there too. Let's see. So did I? Okay, I hit NVTS, so that looked good there. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Let's. Okay, chart out Nike. Yeah, I can chart out Nike for you here. Yeah, Nike absolutely destroyed. Destroyed. Nike, Nike, Nike. Let's see. Yeah, we can look up flow on Nike as well too. Let's do said long term there. So let's do the weekly, and you are actually asking for a pretty easy chart to kind of chart out. So I'm happy about that. I'm just doing a very quick. We're looking at the weekly here, so let's just start back here. Pop this here. We are back at that 2014 October low. That is a just absolute beating Nike is taking. I gotta grab a drink here. Sorry. I mean, if you're looking for shares for a long-term portfolio, I mean, this is the place to potentially look to get some shares there. I mean, we are down significantly from highs back in 2021. I just want to kind of look at this here. I mean, we are down about 76% from highs there. Um, yeah, Rich Dog, it might have to go in there. It might have to be one in there. I'm just so used to just I will almost just trade flow without looking at charts. So I don't do a lot of the flow in charts. I need to put more in there, but man, the flow usually is just so good that you don't need the chart. But yeah, this looks like a good potential spot for a little bounce there. I mean, this thing is extremely oversold here. I'm just kind of looking at that weekly RSI here. I mean, it's favors a little bounce here. Man, I might have to get some of these too. These look kind of good, man. You're talking me into it. We did, so we are just kind of seeing a little lower volume day here. I mean, if I'm trading this now, if you're having shares for a lifetime, I mean, this is a good spot to kind of get in here. But if I'm trading this, man, I'd love for us to get a little closer to the bottom of that zone. Actually, we can tighten it up a little bit here. Let's just kind of condense this just a teeny bit here, make it a little more respectable. So I'm doing that zone. Oops, and then I can't draw properly. All right, so we're hitting the high and the lows of the candle there. Yeah, I mean, if I'm trading on the option here, my risk is absolutely the bottom of this demand zone here at that 41.90. That is my absolute stop. But I mean, this is looking just like you're coming into a good supply zone, or sorry, excuse me, demand zone at support demand zone. That might be worth a shot there. Let's go see if we got any flow on it though. Man, I'm glad you called that chart out there. That's good. And I should be me and Keith are planning to do a joint live stream tonight here in this chat here too. So if you guys aren't busy later, I think we're shooting for like 7:30 Central Time, so 8:30 Eastern. We should be in this chat. I'm gonna record it. Yeah, Rich Dog, exactly. I feel bad for my friends overseas that are sleeping, but no, it'll be recorded. So if you miss it, no worries. But yeah, we'll be doing a joint live. Keith is very, very, very good at charting, and he's very intelligent. So if you guys are around, feel free to hop in. We'll probably be in for an hour or so. Um, yeah, I'm just looking at premiums on Nike. I mean, there's just no call premiums to really go up, run up on what? On Nike? The market. Yeah, you got a little pop there, I guess. Little teeny pop there. I was expecting a big, big, big green candle somewhere. I was like, I don't see anything super interesting. Yeah, I mean, recover a little bit there. Good, strong support there in the for the pre-market level there. Um, Yeah, Nike, I'm not seeing much for option premium, just kind of non-existent there, especially on the call side. Contract wise, yeah, I'm just kind of looking. Let's do to clean up some of this. Oops. So yeah, everything's pretty much at the money. A lot of short dated calls in here. How about these 9-day out ones? Let's take a peek at these. So it is some mid-side fills though, 34.96. These don't look too bad. I that mid-side is technically at that previous ask, so that's why it's saying a lot of that's at the mid. These would be a good one to potentially keep eyes on here. I would say just besides that mid fill, which was that previous ask there. I would say these look like they're buy to open here. They're 9 days out. Those don't look too bad. It's definitely opening volume there. How about, yeah, short dated? I would not want to do short dated on these. So this is 373. Yeah, a little too much here. I'd want to verify that open interest tomorrow. Looks like we had some volume yesterday. Yeah, I'd want to double check on that open interest tomorrow before I made any conclusions on that. How about the 42? Yeah, too much bid side there. Let's see. Puts are these? Yeah, pretty. Just kind of looking to see if we got anything short on the put side. Yeah, there's just not that much. I would say I like those 40. Oh, sorry, not the 43. The 40. Oh God, I'm just all over. The 40. Geez, all 40s, man. This guy, yeah. This is the one. Yeah, I like that 417.43 and a half. That's Yeah, that's a good thing too. That's what I like about that research folder, Rich Dog. Just a lot of kind of interesting stuff there. And to answer on your question, do you use RSI as confluence on? I wouldn't base a trade strictly based off the RSI. I just kind of like to see, where it possibly bounced, just see if we're oversold, overbought. More so, it's definitely I care more about my EMAs there, and I mean we are significantly below the 200, 150 in your 20-day. I mean it's bearish. It's bearish. So I mean you're trying to catch a falling knife there. But if you're buying shares again, that's a different story than options. But man, I like these 9-day out ones, even with that kind of mid-side action there, because that mid-side again was at that previous ask. These are ones that I'd probably maybe bookmark and keep an eye on there. But yeah, other than that, I'm not seeing much for flow. Let's do some other internal looks on this one. Gamma on it. I mean, your gamma levels are improving, and you did have a positive, or finally a, I was gonna say positive day, yeah, just slightly negative there, but I mean, it's improving at least. Net gamma, yeah, just kind of mixed overall there. I mean, you got some on the put, you got some on the ask. It's about 50-50, it looks like there. Your expirations, your 410, 417, and 424 are getting a lot of net gamma on the call side, so that would kind of potentially, signal a possible short bounce possibly there. Um, yeah, no, it's a really good spot. Like if it's a long term kind of share hold there. I mean, I I need to go look at their earnings here. I don't remember what they did off the. I mean, they're beating earnings there, so I mean, it's not like they're missing on earnings there. Yeah, if you're in shares, again, it's not financial advice, but I mean, I would be looking to add in shares at this point. I mean, we have not been this low since October of 2014, so I mean, it is very, very odd. I mean, I don't off the top of my head, I don't know why they Oh, it looks like their forecast fiscal 26 sales decline there. So yeah, that's why it's kind of doing that. But I mean, you're just kind of looking at the historical earnings here. I mean, they haven't missed an earnings here since June of 2023. So I mean, they're at least beating their projections, which are good. Um, yeah, man, if I'm doing shares, I'm probably gonna add a good chunk here. Yeah, I don't see them like filing bankruptcy or anything. I mean, anything can happen, but the odds of Nike kind of being the one of the bigger clothing brands probably unlikely and can take some time to bounce back. But I mean, if you're doing shares, the good thing about shares is you they actually lost. No, they won't get Steph. They won't get Steph Curry. They already lost their chance with him. They lost their chance. But yeah, but when because Nike was going for Steph at first, and they called him Steve Curry. So that's kind of that's why he didn't go with Nike. But yeah, they didn't even know his name when he went in for the presentation. But yeah, that's I mean, man, if I'm doing shares, this is probably a good spot to grab some shares here. I mean, and kind of like Rich Dog was saying, you have a big gap there to the upside. I don't think we have any more downside gaps. Just doing a quick little. Oh, you got a little one down here. I mean, 27 to 28 there. Yeah. I mean, it's not a bad spot for shares. Options, I would just be a little more careful. I mean, that 52-week range is just nasty on that thing. Yeah, maybe for a quick, short cover. So I would love to see us if we could get options here and you get a gap fill. I don't think you're gonna get a gap fill that quick on something like this, but hey, I mean you got it to the downside there, you got it to the upside as well. I mean you don't know. It's a really interesting chart though. I mean bearish overall, but you know I would just be cautious. But yeah, 70% from highs there. That is just horrible. And just kind of looking at as many data points as possible. Yeah, if so Nike tends to just kind of do its own thing here. Just kind of looking at that IV rank there. Yeah, and your gamma was just the 1 day there. Yeah, we can go look at the monthly there. Let's go back here. Monthly, monthly, monthly. Yeah, you're oversold on the monthly too. Absolutely, just oversold on all your time frames there. Yeah, yeah, it's very interesting for sure. I mean, I and that's a big monthly gap there now too. I mean, that is a nasty monthly gap. Your 200 days starting to kind of curl over 150 day, 20 days is tanking down. Yeah, that's one I would like to keep an eye on. If I had some like 30-day outflow, well, I like that one piece of flow that we looked at on it. It looked pretty decent there, but it was only I think it was 30 days there. Look at so much, it all just kind of runs together. Yeah, I mean it's just I I I like it. I mean the risk to reward from this spot. And I mean you've seen that selling at least pressure kind of slow down there. I mean your volume's kind of dropped a little bit. You're still at that average, but man, if you could bottom tick something like this and get that run up and fill that gap, man, that would be a trade that makes your month there. I would just be very, very cautious. I mean, it's fallen very far. Yeah, good chart request there, Benny. Really good chart request. I like these charts where it's clean like this too, because it's a very simple chart. I mean, you're coming into support, demand. I mean, it's a clean chart. I mean, it's a nasty looking chart, but you're in a decent looking spot there. And I'm not trying to talk you into anything either way at all, but man, at least I know you said you're looking for shares too. If I was adding shares at this point, I wouldn't be too nervous because obviously shares you're going to get your dividends on those, and eventually, hopefully, Nike makes a recovery. I mean, like you said, I don't see pretty much the biggest retailer going down, filing bankruptcy. Again, anything can happen, but more than likely, probably not. Any other flow coming in here in the last 4 minutes? Yeah, I'm happy you had some good charting requests because we haven't really had much for flow. What these DOCSs? So a little spike in put premium here too at the same time. 14%. We'll see what that spike in that put premium is there. Let's just look at this guy first here. So, okay, this is our first trade, 85.62. Okay, so your IV's decreasing. Comes back up. Yeah, have a great one. Hey, if you're not busy tonight, stop in, hang out with me and Keith. We'll be doing some flow and charting too. I know I'm hoping M1 shows up there. M1 likes the charting. He would love the flow and charts. Me and Keith are trying to do that flow and charting mix there. Yeah, not seeing much for. Oh, we're gonna look at that other spike for DOCS here. So let's see. It looks like that put here. There we go. That 515. What was this one though? 37 days of 22.5 call. So it looks like that 37-day 22.5 put is what also caused that spike there. These are in the money, so that's why it didn't show up on my feed. These look like a buy here. Those calls did not look like a full-on buy. All right, how are we finishing here? A little kind of grind up into close, it looks like. Yeah, call out of the money, call and put premiums pretty much at the same level. All call premiums at the near the high of the day. All put premiums is kind of dropping a little bit. How's our kind of flow in here looking? So yeah, we did gravitate back up towards that positive gamma. So we noticed how there wasn't any gamma below us to really kind of draw us down anymore, but came right back up here. And it looks like we might finish between that 67.90 and that 67.75. That 67.90 and 67.95 have grown as well too. We're not going to get another update here with the market closing in 2 minutes, but yeah, well, I think we're going to finish within this area. We should. Yeah, good charting request on Nike there. I mean, that was the textbook little kind of chart there. All right, what do we got? Anything else here before close? Got about a minute to go. Yeah, just kind of rallying here into close, it looks like a little bit. Volume is still down here. We'll just do a quick peek at that sector flow. Sector flow here. Yeah, I mean, we're better than the last couple days, but we're still below that average volume there. Energy is up significantly from that 30-day average. Obviously, a lot of selling going on there today, though. All right, well, let's see how we finish here. We'll watch here. So, I mean, yeah, again, we're kind of talking how we're going to finish in this area. I mean, they had that positive gamma up here. We'll see. We got about 5 seconds. We'll see here. So it kind of pulled it back up a little bit there, but yeah, finished right dead center on that. But all right, you guys, thanks for hanging out. And then yeah, me and Keith should be on here probably. I think we're doing 8 Central, 7:30 Central. So If you're awake or if you're bored, feel free to hop in. But have a great rest of your afternoon, everybody.